Hello everyone, welcome to our final n8n tutorial in the Madison Framework series. I'm Kriti and today we are focusing on taking your workflow to the next level by making it scalable and production ready. By the end of this video, you'll know how to handle larger data sets and demonstrate professional level implementation. Now you need to consider how your workflow would handle real world scale, and these are some of the factors that you need to address. Your workflow should process hundreds or thousands of records. For the APIs that you're going to be using in your projects, sometimes there might be restriction on how many API calls you can make per minute. For example, for these Twitter APIs, there's restriction that you can only make one API call for every 15 minutes. And if your workflow is extremely lengthy, then the workflow might time out or face interruptions. So you need to demonstrate this scaling consideration and show that you're thinking for the real world scale. Most APIs limit how many results you can get in a single request. Let's implement pagination to handle larger datasets. And let me just give a demonstration of this with the help of Reddit APIs in n8n. Here I have a market research project for OpenAI where I've built a workflow that automatically scrapes most popular discussions about OpenAI from Reddit using their official API. So this URL, it targets OpenAI subreddit to find brand-related discussions. And I have connected my Reddit credentials. In my previous videos, I explained how to do this with the help of Twitter API. In a very similar manner, I have used Reddit APIs here. I have connected my Reddit account. Next, these are the parameters that I'm using basically to help me narrow my focus. And this is the important parameter here, limit parameter. This is set to 25, which tells Reddit to send only 25 posts in one single response package. Next, scroll down and you will find the pagination option. And in the pagination mode drop-down, I'm choosing update a parameter in each request option. Reddit basically requires us to flip the page by updating a specific tag, which is after, in my case, while some APIs use the response contains next URL, and that requires or that provides a full clickable link to the next page. But for my specific task, I'm going to be using this update a parameter in each request. And in the parameters, I want to add this after. Basically, this is telling n8n to take this ID and use it for the next batch of posts. I have also included a safety check that tells the workflow to stop looping once Reddit stops sending an after ID, meaning we have reached the end of the search results. And I am currently setting the maximum pages to 2. And since I selected the 25 limit or 25 items per page here, I'm fetching around 50 posts in total. Finally, I'm also adding a small delay between two requests. That's basically it for my HTTP request node. And here I'm fetching only the required fields like post title, number of upvotes, the body text, etc. And in my last node, I am sorting my responses with the help of the field upvote. So as a final response, I have top posts discussion about the brand OpenAI. And as you can see, I have 50 responses, 5 pages, 10 responses each in 5 pages. You can do the same. You can have up to 50 responses or even 500 responses. And when you have that many responses, make sure to use the pagination technique just like this. Next, I want to talk about rate limiting and throttling. To avoid API rate limits, we need to add throttling to our workflow, and we can achieve that by adding a wait node in between API calls. So imagine you have a bigger workflow or you have multiple HTTP requests. Let me use the same Reddit API. So yeah, in this case, is when you're making frequent API calls, it's always good to have a wait node. Just add a 5 or 10 seconds wait. This will help you avoid all the API rate limits that these APIs have. And if you want more advanced control, you can use a function node to implement exponential backoff. Moving on to the documentation and testing. For this project, you need to demonstrate professional documentation and testing, and here's how you can do it. Create a comprehensive README that explains all the setup instructions with all the required credentials. Show your architecture diagram and explain your workflow components. Also write about known limitations and success rates. Also include the systematic testing part. Create some test cases, cover the normal and edge cases, and document your test results. That is really important, and show your actual metrics. You can also show your improvements from your previous project or the previous assignment. So that's mostly it for this video. You now have the skills to scale your n8n workflow and prepare it for production use. These improvements will help you excel in your project and create a Madison framework contribution that stands out. In our next video, we will shift the focus on creating a simple user interface for your Madison agent using either Streamlit or Gradio. This will transform your technical backend into something non-technical users can actually interact with. Up next, creating a simple UI with Streamlit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful.